My journey as an entrepreneur has been a whirlwind. In this video, I really wanted to offer some brutally realistic advice, some lessons that I would give myself 10 years ago if I was to just start out. Don't chase the money. I fell into this trap several times. There's a great quote by a philosopher and professor called Alan Watts. If you say that getting money is the most important thing, you'll spend your life completely wasting your time. You'll be doing things you don't like doing in order to go on living, that is to go on doing things you don't like doing, which is stupid. Trust me, don't follow the money. Don't fall under the spell of all these make money online guys by drop shipping random, hair straighteners from China or whatever, because your time is going to be creating adverts and creatives and videos and all this stuff on hair straighteners. Don't follow the money, but instead follow your interests and your passions. Build your personal brand before you launch a product. I don't beat myself up about this too much, but I kind of do. Why? Because it's so much more reliable to build an audience before you launch products rather than launching products and then trying to build an audience. That's really difficult, and that's something that I've done with my businesses like Lifetropics. I've launched 25 products at once, and then I'm scrambling trying to find people to buy them, right? And that inevitably causes products to fail, and in some cases businesses to collapse because you just can't get the audience. But if I had started building my own personal brand, bit by bit, I'd start getting my audiences, who just are generally, interested in what I like. And we see that with YouTubers who launched 5 years ago. Some of them now have, hundreds of thousands to millions of subscribers, and they're making full-time incomes from, sponsorships, ad revenue, and, launching products to these subscribers. So really starting now, building that awareness about your personal brand is something you should definitely do. And this is also something that Gary Vee, right, the entrepreneur, he was saying was important, and he regrets also not working on building his awareness. I think his quote was, never trade awareness for money. And that's something that connected with me because I've always been following the money with my products, and I neglected building the awareness to my personal brand for all of these years. And that's something that I definitely would have done differently. And it's something that I'm doing differently now, is trying to build my personal brand. Don't quit your day job. It's super easy to think that, hey, when I have enough free time and I quit my job, I'm gonna make my business 200% accelerate, right? And I did this. I did this with Lifetropics. I saw we were making a lot of money, so I quit my main job, and then I started working on it, and then all of a sudden, I had some products get taken down by Amazon, literally the next day. And now I was in a situation where, I had no job and a lot less income from my main business. That puts you in a very stressful situation, right? I think now there's a difference between being a risk taker versus being a risky person. And really, if you're gonna make this kind of jump out of your job into your own business, I think you have to be super sure about it. You need to have a diversified, street sources of income, all of this kind of stuff. You need to be very secure in your revenues and income from that business, and then you take the jump. At that time, I was a risky person. I was not a good risk taker. I was a very much risky person. Next one is to not neglect your relationships. And what I mean by this is personal relationships. And I've done this all of my life. I've been, a flaky friend, a flaky boyfriend as well, really. There were times where I would just work nonstop, total workaholic, and it's a curse of entrepreneurs, right? We work nonstop, and we kind of, tunnel vision and push people away, almost. And this is something that we don't even realize. I have, guy friends who I'm totally cool with, in that we just send each other a few messages, every couple of months, right? But then you find that you tend to drift away. And I've had very best friends right, who I've drifted away from just because I've spent so much energy and time on my business, right, that I've just kind of neglected them. And I haven't made an effort to, keep that friendship going. And that's one of my big regrets is, losing that closeness I've had with some people who, were some of the best friends of my life. And, relationships and friendships are some of the most important things of our life. It's really the key to happiness. I think there's a TED talk on that, is that relationships are the key to our happiness. Having great friends. So it's, I think, really important for us to not neglect, having friends and having, good relationships with our boyfriends or girlfriends as well. And to really bear that in mind while we're working on what we're working on. Never neglect your health. When I was working as a consultant for a supplements company, I was going at 200 miles an hour all the time, right? I was taking modafinil and I wasn't eating right. I wasn't really exercising at all. And I remember one time I went to Thailand and I went to my old boxing camp and my trainer was like, "John, are you okay? It looks like you're ill." I brushed it off. I didn't believe it. I'm fit. I used to do boxing. I used to do exercise. I'm still fit, right? I can run. But really, I was incredibly skinny and I couldn't see it. I couldn't see that I was so skinny and I was scarily thin, right? And it was because I just wasn't eating. I wasn't eating at all. I'd go through days just, eating maybe an apple at breakfast and then just having dinner, or having a very light lunch, very light dinner. I wasn't eating anything because I was so consumed by my work and growing my business and helping my client that everything else kind of didn't matter. And the fact that I had no idea about this really shows you that I neglected my health. And this is something I think that's really easy for entrepreneurs to do, is to just completely forget about taking care of themselves. So this is something that I would very much tell myself, is to not neglect your health and to always put that first. So these were my lessons to myself as a beginning entrepreneur. I hope they were useful to you. This was the last 10 years of my life that I've tried to get some insights out of, and to really try and help any new entrepreneurs or people considering doing this. Wherever you are and whoever you are, I hope you're having a great day. I wish you the best success in your journey, and I wish you great health and happiness. All right, thank you.